Hey guys, this is episode 19 of Double Cross Anime, the podcast, and we've got a very special episode this week. We are previewing 10 series from the 2018 summer season. If you've been listening to us for any length of time so far, about 3 months ago we did something similar with spring. So we're here again to preview the best and maybe a little bit of the worst of the summer season. I am Whooper, and I'm joined, as always, every week by my friend Mario.
Hello.
Okay, so I think, Mario, you know the order that we're going through the shows in.
Yep. Just before we start this, we need to say that because the high score girl sub is wasn't available until now. Like there was bad sub, so we do the Angolmois Gonkai Kosenski first instead of high score girl, and we will do it like alphabetically, which means the Agomos will be the first one as well.
Okay, you ready to start? We're going to try to keep discussion of each episode to 8 minutes. Ready to start on the
Uh,
timer?
all right. Yep.
All right, here we go.
All
It's
right.
counting down. Thoughts on Angolmois, or Angolmois, however you say it.
Yep. Agomos.
Thoughts?
I'll say that Moss. Well, it so the setting, which is from the Mongol invade Japan like in early centuries, like I think it's in the 900 or thousands. Not really sure about the year. I really like the setting, uh, but I didn't expect much from the series. It come out like pretty good actually. How do you think about the shows?
I agree. When I heard, like a lot of times when I'm going through forums or reading blog posts or comments, I'll get a general impression of how people are feeling about a series before I actually see it myself. And the main thing I saw about this show was that, oh, there's a filter over everything. It makes everything look disgusting. Um, and I
Right.
I kind of agree
Yeah.
that the filter is distracting, but I came into this episode expecting that I wouldn't like it too much on a visual level, and I was actually pretty impressed with what Studio Nas did here.
Yeah.
And most of their past work has been like ecchi harem garbage. So I'm treating this as kind of like an indie project,
Yeah.
and I really like it. I think the fight direction is actually pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not a
I
fan of the filter, but I like what I see.
Well, I like the filter. Like sometimes it distracting, but like when you see the rain, it looked totally cool to me.
It was overbearing, I thought, during the rain. I was like, is this the biggest downpour in recorded history?
Well, I like it. I like the fakeness. Like it looked like something you see in the theater.
Okay.
So I like it.
I'm glad you liked it. When it
Um,
really distracted me was when it was nighttime. That's when the filter became like most visible.
like
When it was
like
dark in
smoke.
the show.
It's like the mist. It's like smoke.
It
But
just it looked like I don't know what it looked like. It looked gross. I didn't like it.
it it looked like a dirty screen in
Yes,
front of.
exactly.
Yeah, like everyone complaining about that.
Right.
How do you think about the characters? I like the main characters.
Yeah, I actually want to draw a parallel between this show and Golden Kamui, because what
Mm-hmm.
Golden Kamui did to establish that its main character was kind of crazy and that he had like a violent past was it did an extended flashback, which was very
Mm-hmm.
very bloody, to show that its main character was kind of nuts and had a past that where he went into like war, that he was a
Mm-hmm.
soldier. But
Yep.
Kuchi in this show is a general. We don't see any flashback like that. The one time that his I mean obviously he does a lot of fighting, so we see that he's a violent person, but the one time that his personality kind of slips out is when he says he's going to burn
Yep.
the house down to the ground. You can see the crazed look in his eye. And
Yep. Yep. That's right.
I think that's actually more effective than what Golden Kamuy did last season. So I really like
I
him. I got a good sense of who he is as a character, and also the pirate guy.
Yeah. I like him as well on that scenes. So we see the crazy look in his eye, but we know later that he burned those house down, in order for to help the soldier in the island. So it worked.
Right. To increase visibility for the people who were searching for the princess.
That's right.
Although I kind of question, like, how would he have known that that would have helped them when they were so far away?
Yeah. Well, um, all other characters, especially the princess, I don't really like it. I don't really like the way that she was mini at first, and then she become like totally like like she weak. She become like she
Damsel in
uh
distress.
yeah, that's right, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, she seems to be the typical royal daughter who's like struggling with her duty. That
And to navy,
yeah.
yeah.
I do think that her character is competently written, like it's adequate, because that is kind of a stock. That's like a template for a character is the princess who's had to step up and take over a role of governance, kind of.
Yep.
And so she fills that role, but I don't think she makes anything special out of it. But I will say that Oni Takamaru, the pirate with the shark teeth, I think he's great. I think you get it. He's like a larger than life character, and you get a sense of how fun loving, but also how brutal he is. So I really like him.
All right. How you think about the cast of the of the prisoners so far?
Yeah, I mean it's mostly Kuchi, the main guy, the ex general, Oni
Mm-hmm.
Takemaru, and the other one who sticks out to me is the short guy with the round face who used to be a merchant.
All right. Yep.
The
Mm-hmm.
writers are probably going to deliver a lot of exposition through his character because he went on and on about how he knows about geography and he had a map of Japan and all that. So he's probably going to be a mouthpiece for a lot of historical information. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, he has a very distinctive voice. His character design, I can picture him in my head because he's so different looking. So
Yep.
I like him too. I can't say I'm fond of him as a person, but
Mm-hmm.
he's a decent character.
All right. Um, how about the enemy those? How the fight was good?
Yeah.
I don't really like the special abilities, the special power that those guys have.
What special power did they have?
All right, you see like the main guy, the main enemy guys.
The one who
Who
had the blonde hair under the mask?
That's right. He actually like jump over from where he fight
Yeah.
to the ship,
I was
and
actually
it's like
okay with that.
it make no sense to me. It just
Oh, it definitely makes no sense.
uh, would make me question why Kuchi wouldn't do the same thing. Just like jump over his ship and continue to fight.
It's because he doesn't have those blonde-haired genetics. I don't know.
Well,
I feel like the show is trying to make this conflict between the what are they, prisoners or criminals?
hmm
It's going to make
yep,
the conflict between the Japanese and the Mongols like larger than life. When they arrived to
yep,
Tsushima, the island, do you remember the shot where the white shark swam underneath the
uh-huh,
boat?
yep.
I
hmm
kind of thought that that was a signal from the writers that this tale is going to be kind of mythical. Like it's not quite going to follow the laws of reality. Like they were kind
Yep.
of crossing into a world that isn't bound by the same rules as ours.
It's like the boundary between the dead and the living, and the boundary between Japan and Mongol. So that makes sense.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like they're in another world that's not bound by the same restrictions. So if a guy jumps over the ocean into his ship, it doesn't make sense, but I can live
Yep.
with it.
All right. So as a closing thought, for me, I think that's it remind me a bit of Shokuku no Ata, the one that you covered before,
I dropped halfway.
and yeah, and you drop it, and Golden Kamui, which how both show progress in the end make me kind of a bit worried about how this story progress as well.
Yeah, I'm worried too because Studio Nas doesn't have the best track record, but I'm hoping for him. Like I'm really rooting for him after seeing how solid this first episode was.
hmm
So, I'm
So
hoping this turns out well.
yeah, so first episode was good, but I'll still worry.
Yeah. Would you
So
rank it?
how I rank it 8 out of 10.
8?
Yep.
Oh my
because
gosh, you said such
I
nice
have
things about it, and you put it all the way down to 8th.
well just so you know that from 1 to 8 I actually like all the shows.
Okay.
So just a 9 and 10 that I don't really like it.
I would say I like 1 through 6, I think. Maybe only
Yep.
1 through 5.
All right. So that's that five, that fifth.
No, I put this one third.
All right. That's good to hear.
Yeah, so this one has a total score of 11. The 4 with
Yeah.
the lowest score we're going to pick up. This one might have a tough time. We'll see.
All right.
What's next in alphabetical order, Mario?
Next is the best show so far of the seasons, Banana Fish. That's the no-brainer for me.
Okay,
Banana
I
Fish.
actually don't agree that this is the best show of the season so far.
All right.
Let's start the 8-minute clock right now.
Yeah. All right.
All right, what makes this the best show of the season?
Because it's look good, because it have hit its own voice, because everything is exciting so far. Because yep.
So it has its own voice. What voice would that be?
All right. It's set in a very distinctive setting. So New York. It's they have like many memorable characters. Especially the main character Ash. It have like a compelling like central plot between him to fight against the whole mafia with the banana fish, the drugs.
Right. I think the plot's going to get much bigger than it is right now. I think that drug is probably just like the tip of the iceberg. It's because I don't think the story stays in New York. I think they move around.
All right. That's even better to hear. What else? Pretty much that.
Okay.
I don't like the other guys. Oh, it's have like very gritty tone, which I like as well. So like violence and all these things.
Yeah, the show has a little bit of a punk streak to it, I think.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Although its depiction of New York, I would say is not that gritty. It's more the lives that the characters lead, and the fact that they're into drugs and gang violence, like you mentioned, turf wars, stuff like that. That's gritty. But New York, to me, in this show actually looks very idealized. Like, a lot of the graffiti is very colorful and attractive, and there are some scenes like establishing shots or pillow shots of like a street in New York where the sunset will be like lighting everything up really beautifully. Those stuck out to me. There are of course there are some scenes where it's like an alleyway and it's really dark and ominous, but I liked the prettier take on it.
I would say I agree with you that it's maybe they portray New York as the place to live.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's look good. Anyway, it's look good.
Yeah, the New York looks pretty good. The show looks pretty good. I especially want to shout out the fight scene in the bar at the end. It just looks phenomenal.
Yep, the animation was pretty good as well. The only characters that I don't like right now is Eiji, the Japanese guy.
Who is Eiji? Is he the young kid or is he the older journalist?
No, he's a young kid.
Okay.
He's the main characters.
Right.
I think his character is weak. I don't think his character belong to that kind of series, but I think that's the point.
Yeah, I agree.
And saying that, I watched the second episode already, and he improved a lot in the second episodes.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen any second episodes of these shows. It's good to hear that he fits more after another installment.
And yeah, so basically, I think that the quality of the show have either the stories, the characters, or the production itself are like top notch.
Yeah.
In these seasons.
I am. Go ahead.
All right.
Finish your thought.
Yep. Yeah, compared to any other shows that we have watched so far.
Gotcha. I can hear my voice in your audio. I'm gonna focus now so it
Really?
doesn't trip me up. Yeah, it's quiet. Yes, I agree that the show is pretty much the total package. Although I want to say that if we rewound 10 years and we inserted the
Hmm.
show in the lineup then, I'm not sure it would be as remarkable. I feel like this season's a little bit weak, and so Banana Fish is able to stand on everybody else's like mangled bodies down at the bottom. Um, but yeah, I agree that the show is good. The one thing that I want to criticize about it is its really quick pacing.
Yep, it
Although
does.
I previewed the manga when I wrote the preview of this for the blog,
Yep.
and the manga is kind of paced the same way. It does not have a lot of establishing panels. So
Hmm.
when they
Hmm.
move
Hmm.
from one scene to another, it pretty much just happens instantly, and you have to like kind of go back a couple pages or a couple panels at least and get your bearings. And this show
Yep.
seems to be taking the same brisk pace, which is
Hmm.
okay. Um, but it is a problem that I have with the show. I would say it's the one problem that I have.
How far is adapting the manga? Like how many chapters? The first episode adapt the manga.
I don't know, maybe like maybe one or two. The chapters, you know how some manga have like really long chapters at the start?
Yep. 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 They
Like
do. Yep.
when they're first published, they have really long chapters. Banana Fish is one such manga, and
Yep.
I think they only did like one or two. 'Cause
Hmm.
I already know. I only read 3 chapters of which
Yep.
I think is the entire first volume because they're so long of the manga,
Wow.
and I know what happens in the second episode, or I assume I
Oh.
do because I read ahead.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
maybe the first 2 episodes are like the first volume,
Hmm.
something like that.
The pacing was really quick. That for sure. It's like neck breaking fast.
Yeah, kind of.
Uh, and it's apparent in the second episode as well. I have more criticism on the second episode than the first. The first was really good.
Okay. Um,
uh,
yeah. Well, I mean, if that's the price we have to pay
mhm.
for an anime that looks this good and in general sounds this good, I think that I like a lot of the musical selections. Although I have
Mhm.
some of them I don't
Yep.
feel like play at the right time.
All right.
Like the conversation between Ash and Papadino in episode one,
Mm.
where they're kind of feeling
Mm.
each other out on the subject of the banana fish drug. There's this really ill-fitting uh,
Yeah.
musical track. Yeah,
Uh,
this electronic track that I don't feel fits the intrigue of the scene.
mhm.
But I do like a lot of the selections that they've made. Like you've got some boom
Yep.
bap in there, some hip hop sounds. There's even a metal song playing in the bar in the first episode, like heavy metal,
Yep.
which kind of pushes the like you were talking about the grit earlier. It kind of pushes the grit of the character's world to the forefront.
And one more thing that I like about Banana Fish is the character acting. The it's that for the show that have like quick pacing like this, the moment the character acting, like when they sit thinking, doing something, tell a lot about their characters, and I could see that in Ash and a bit in Edgy. So I think the show doing very good so far on the front.
Are you talking more about voice acting or character
No,
animation?
character animation. That's what I'm
Right,
talking about.
right, yeah. You know what shot I really like, and we just hit
Which
8 minutes, so I'll finish
Yep.
this fast. The
Yep.
shot I really like is the one where Ash is thinking about the banana fish. Like at that point, he doesn't know it's called banana fish, but he's got the little capsule with a drug in it, and he's playing with
Yep.
it on the
Yep.
desk, and he
Yep.
flicks it forward, and you
Yep.
get that shot, the close-up shot of the capsule with his face in the background, taking up the whole frame. You can see that he's really like the gears are turning.
Yep.
I
I
really
was
love
thinking
that
about
shot.
that scene. I was thinking about that scene where I talk about that as well. So
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So ranking,
I put this one
I
second.
put all right. I put that one at first. So
Okay.
it's a total cost of 3
Yes, so
point.
we will definitely be picking this one up.
Yep. I think I know your first.
You think so?
Let's. Yep.
Well, if we're
All
doing
right.
it in
Let's.
alphabetical order, it's going to take a while to get to it.
Yep. Let's go to the next show, Chio-chan.
Okay. How did you feel about Chio-chan? I know you want to blog this one.
Yep. I like it. it's not the best thing ever. It's not the best thing of the first episode, but I like the whole concept. The only thing that I don't like, the only few things that I don't like was the OP. The OP give me a lot of red flags.
Yeah, me too.
So I remember when I first watched the OP in the first episode, I was like, oh my god, it might not be that good.
Yeah, I pretty much feel the same way.
But it turned out to be quite good, so I'm glad.
I mean, the 3D CG of zooming around the streets, the city streets, and then there were like 5 and 6 second stills in the OP of just like a character on the screen doing nothing with some flashing like After Effects stuff going on in the background.
And characters they flashing it well. They just bad.
Yeah, but what I mean is they're not moving. There's some colors flashing in the background and stuff, but they'll during the OP they would stick a character or maybe 2 or 3 on screen, and it was just them in a pose, not moving, not blinking, not breathing.
Yep.
And you can hear the music of the OP playing. You're like, did my video freeze? But the audio is still working. What happened?
Yep. Well, all right, but the episode itself was pretty good. So it's split into 2 halves. The first half is about Chio, just like inspired by a game that she played, Assassin's Creed. Yep. So she just like head up to the she just head up to the roof and walk through the roof. So,
yes, she walked on a roof.
So that was fun. How do you think about the whole thing so far?
I thought it was trash.
Yeah?
Yes, I hated it. I hated this with a passion.
Yeah, you hated this.
Yeah, the sequence where she's walking on the rooftops and like the vibe you're supposed to get is that she's finding it to be really fun, like she's in a video game. I thought the show 100% failed to communicate that. All the shots of her like walking on rooftops, taking a bunch of different like camera angles, and of course one of them has to be underneath so we can see her pantsuit.
Yep.
And and then after all that and the jaunty little music playing in the background, after a minute of that, she thinks to herself, like the camera moves back to her, we get a shot of her, and she thinks, you know what, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
But if we're supposed to feel as though she's like getting accustomed to it and finding it more and more fun, we need the camera on her, not pulled back, giving us shots of the city. That's completely wrong.
Well,
so I was bored.
All right, I kind of agree with the decision of the show. So they show the they show the whole scene in her point of view, right?
I don't think so. I think the POV shot that we got was in the second half.
All right, so we saw them. We saw like her walking around, right?
No, kind of, yeah, from a distance.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I remember I like it.
Okay.
All
well,
right.
Comedy is subjective, as they say.
That's right.
What about the CGI dog that was like frozen in place? They didn't even animate its head moving or anything. They just had it barking, and it like did not move. Do you remember that?
Yep.
This was while she was walking over the rooftops. It paid more attention to a dog than it did to Chio.
I'm fine with that.
But it's not called CGI Dog's Road to School. It's called Chio-chan's Road to School.
Man. Well, all right. I say that on my front, but I think Chio-chan is like a very relatable character to me. The way that like the whole thing run from her point of view, from her head. So right. we see like what her like stream of thought as, and it's funny and it's really relatable both in the first section and in the second sections. The first section run more as the observe where we don't know what she will like on the event that she will face, and the second segment play more into her like insecurity, her yep.
Her like her anxiety about the popular girl calling out to her.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I can relate to both.
Okay. I see how you could find the second half relatable. The first one I had like running on a rooftop and trying to get to school, and I was passing out. I actually had to slap myself in the face multiple times to stay awake while I was watching. I'm not making that up. I actually did that.
All right, you cruel man. you no fun.
I mean, I guess not. If this show is fun, then I'm no fun. But I don't think she's a relatable character. Like all the stuff about her being, how she calls herself like below average, you know, in comparison to the popular girl, and her being a gamer and staying up late to play video games, which made her like sleep in and late to school. And then she, in the second half, she reads the gaming magazine in the convenience store while she's hiding. How many anime have we seen where the main character is or describes themselves as a below average student or person who loves video games? How many times?
All right, I can leave out the last part who love video game, but for the one who think that they are below average, I would say a lot. I would say like 70 to 80%, especially in especially in a Japanese culture where you don't have like a good sense of self. But
Chio actually says in this episode, isn't there some line of dialogue in here where she says like, my motto is not to be noticed, or my goal is not to stick out?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I don't I mean, ironically I think that the show succeeded at making her not stick out. I didn't get a sense of like who she was as an individual apart from trends in anime.
All right. Wow. All right. Let's just wrap up. So what ranking you have for Chio-chan?
I put it last.
Oh man. I put it second.
Second? Okay. Well, it's 12th.
It's 12.
Or it has 12 points.
Right.
I can't believe that we feel this differently about this show. But
well,
I think we had some similar discrepancies in the spring with Steins Gate and Golden Kamuy.
Yeah. So I think the more we head on, the more we have like some differences. Let's just say. Yeah. The next one will be Kaichi spin-off.
Okay.
Chuukan Kanriroku Tonegawa. Tonegawa, for short.
All right. Okay. Resetting and start 8-minute timer. All right. I guess I'll start with this one because I have some familiarity with Kaiji.
Yep.
I've seen only the first season, not the second, actually. But the first season is the one from which the material at the start of this episode was pulled.
Yep.
So like that 3.5 minute recap of Kaiji, that was all from the first season. And a lot of the elements from that first season of Kaiji that I expected to return here, like the deep voiced narrator, and the Zawa, the little sound effects.
All right, that's the sound effect.
Yeah,
right.
Zawa. I expected those to return, but instead it was a different narrator and different Zawas. So completely different atmosphere. I think it probably fits the comedy a little bit better. Maybe, although I was disappointed. And as far as the comedy goes, I wasn't that into it. But I love Fukumoto's art style. He's the mangaka for Kaiji and Akagi and all that. I just love seeing his art move. So that's the main reason I was interested in this. How'd you feel about it?
All right. It tells you a lot when you watch the whole episodes. And you feel, I feel more like watching Kaiji more than continue to watch the shows. so yes, the first 3 minutes may be the best section that I watched in these episodes.
Damn.
I don't like the comedy. I usually find the wordplay to be like interesting, amusing to me, but not about the name. And I particularly don't like the voiceover, which I think too loud.
The narrator.
The narrator.
Yeah, he's really
Uh,
hammy in this show.
Yep, that's right. And when they try to explain all these all the thing that's supposed to be funny about the name, it's actually doesn't fun. It isn't funny anymore. When you try to explain the joke on this, so no, it's not for me to me. I'm mildly interested about the main characters, how he gonna pull all the middle arrangement to satisfy his boss, but it's not gonna be enough for me to keep watching this.
Right.
So no.
Okay. Yeah, I did enjoy this, but not very much. It was just like kind of a pleasant watch. I got through it.
Yep.
And I really liked seeing Tonegawa again because I like his character. I remember him from Kaiji, and he's like in this show especially, he's kind of made out to be, it's the English translation is middle management blues. So he's made out to be, even though his job is to design a death game for his like rich, cruel boss.
Yep.
Sadistic, that's the word I was looking for. His sadistic boss.
Yep.
He's still kind of made out to be a working stiff. So that's why I think that like as a workplace comedy, it might be unique and it might offer something different, especially as he starts to design this death game in future episodes. But we're not there yet. All we got to see in this episode was a lot of like puns about people's names. And because I'm not Japanese, a lot of that doesn't translate for me.
Yep.
So the biggest laugh I got was when the old man, Washizu, or whatever his name is. Maybe I'm mixing up Kaiji and Akagi. Remember when Tonegawa goes in the door and he's lying on the backs of 4 of his guys?
Bodyguards. Yeah.
Yeah. That made me laugh. But that was the only real chuckle that I got out of this episode.
All right. So I'm watching this show, expecting like how he gonna design on the dead games, and we didn't get that so far. We got like the last 6-7 minutes is about names and pun and all
and
those.
They all want to go bowling.
Yep. Yeah. That's right. All right. That took some chuckle out of us.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that funny.
It was funnier as we were recalling it and how stupid it was than it was in the show.
Yeah, but I think that's meant to be stupid. So.
Yeah. Well, it was. Mission accomplished.
All right.
I even as a Kaiji fan, I don't find a whole lot here to sink my teeth into. But since you're interested in Kaiji, I know you're like watching Technolize and other stuff right now.
Yep.
But I would recommend watching Kaiji.
Well, I finished Technolize, so I have some free times.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Kaiji's a good pickup. It's I would say it's kind of a classic 2000s anime. Not on the same level as some bigger stuff, but
it's still very good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good watch.
I just heard like everyone have very good reception about that. Everyone I talk.
Yeah, it's like it's a thriller. It's the premier gambling anime.
Yep. All right, we can wrap this up early so we can have time for some other show. If you don't have anything else to talk about this show.
No, I think that's a good idea. How'd you rank it?
All right, I rank it 10 out of 10.
I put it 8th.
8.
So this will probably be 18? In last place.
Yep.
Most likely. Which I'm okay
All right.
with.
The next shows we're gonna have is the show that just premiered yesterday, Grand Blue.
Okay. Cool.
How you think about this so far?
I liked it. I was not blown away by it. And I think the show actually sets very modest expectations for itself. And what I mean by that is the comedy is all based on dialogue and repetitive situations. Like, for example, the gag where they have to light the drinks on fire to tell them apart between, like, water and vodka.
Yep.
And also ridiculous faces that the main characters pull.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. So it sets modest expectations for itself, and I think it meets them.
All right.
but I don't think that it's anything revolutionary.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That for sure. Um, the one thing that I like, I find amusing. It's not really that I like it or I hate it. Is how the main character Iori Kitahara. I think we can just call him Iori.
Yeah.
He switch between like the between the straight man into like the kind of like the kind of man who like who play along with all that. So he's switch between the two roles.
Yeah. When he gets drunk, that's when his switch gets flipped.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, I think that it normally does can don't work, but for this one it's work.
Yeah, because there is such a big focus on drinking and on that kind of being a rite of passage, like a big thing in college life, because he's just gone off to college, and that's one of the things that attracted me to the show, just based on the premise. Its reputation as like a funny manga, I actually didn't really care about, but the fact that it was set at college was interesting to me. But as far as being a college comedy, I don't think this show really delivered. It was more of a buddy comedy and a drinking comedy.
Yep. Well, it's more. I like it over a message. It's about like experience something new. As for Iori, he's like he don't drink that much before. He don't do the diving before because he can swim, and for this season, I think we pretty much will see that he tried new things. He tried to making new friends, drinking more booze, and do the diving. So yes, I like the main message so far. The one thing I don't like about this, is the girl characters. They are too archetype for me now.
Oh, I mean, they just exist to be cute. The show makes no bones about that. Like they're just there to be attractive. And I mean, to the show's credit, I think it does a good job on that front. I think they are cute, and they're the kind of character who you would expect the main guy Iori to be interested in.
It actually tell you a lot when the main guy, the first gaze that he have was into the girls, into like the whole body of the girl. So
yeah,
well, that it's really like the male gaze kind of anime.
There's nothing wrong with the male gaze.
There's nothing wrong, but it's nothing right either.
Well, yeah, it just because the girls are sexualized and objectified, that doesn't mean that the show is worth less. I don't really subscribe to that critical theory that you've always got to be progressive, and you always have to make sure your female characters pass the Bechdel test or whatever. I don't think that's true.
Right. No. I agree with you, but to the degree that how much you develop your female characters, and so far the female character in Scram Blue wasn't really that good, that depth.
Oh, I agree, but I also don't think that they're the main characters.
Yeah.
Iori and his drinking buddies are the main characters, because it is like a drinking buddy comedy.
Yep.
I expect that the girls will get a little more attention, but never. They'll always be overshadowed by the guys. That's kind of built into this show's DNA, I think.
And do you think that they're gonna be the romance between the short hair girl and the main guys?
Okay, now that I do have a problem with, because it's another kissing cousins anime.
Well, yeah, but I don't think cousin is a taboo subject in Japan.
Right.
That's what I guess.
At least not as much.
I'm not really sure about that though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to chalk that up to just Japan being Japan. That's fine.
Yeah. Well,
the bigger thing about Chisa, the short-haired girl, is that she's a tsundere.
Yeah. Yep. That's right.
So it's more about the relationship between the girl who's slow to warm up to this crazy guy who she thinks is just another one of the empty-headed
pervert.
Yeah, like a pervert and just a jock.
Yep.
and a dunce. But she's gonna slowly, I assume, warm up to him. So rather than it being about them being cousins and there being any sort of taboo, it's more about that kind of tropey relationship. And
Yep.
I don't expect we'll get anything really interesting out of their romance if it develops.
Yep. All right. But the main strength of the show is about this guy and his drinking buddies, and it's really good at that.
Yeah.
I like all these all these like shenanigans about the senpai try to get him to drink, and all this alcohol, all the booze. I just love watching them.
Yeah.
Hugely, hey.
I thought it was fun. I will say that the show really slowed to a crawl for me during the part where he wakes up at the university with only his underwear on,
His pants.
and he's
Yep.
trying to find pants.
Yep.
That like really got on my nerves for whatever reason. I think just the way that he tried to trick people into giving up their clothes and the cops getting called on him multiple times, that didn't do anything for me. I was like, can we move past this, please?
All right.
Um,
I
but it the show eventually did move past it, and what was past it was pretty funny.
well, I find it partly amusing, partly because like he just say the wrong choice of words, and I particularly like the way that he say like, can I repeat that? Can I just do that one more time?
Yeah, can I try again?
Yeah, can I try it again? That's really funny for me. Not that thing. Not the thing before that. Not all the thing before that. He says. All right.
Yeah, I
So
thought
next
I thought the show was pretty funny. I like the faces too,
Yep.
the
Me
crazy
too.
faces. I think they worked a
So-
lot better than they did in, like, for example, Asobi Asobase. Those I didn't like as much.
All right. I don't agree with you on that, but we're not here to talk about that shows.
That's true.
I think we just see like 60 to 70% of crime proof concept right now.
Yeah.
I think the next episode will be about them diving, and I think it's like one of the main theme of crime proof. So
I
yeah,
kind of feel as though the diving is actually not that important to the show, and that's kind of like a misdirect.
yeah. Well,
And that it's mostly about
No.
drinking and stuff.
yep. Think so as well, but we will know.
Yeah.
So I'm stick around with crime proof for some times.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch more. A couple
Yep,
more
so-
episodes, see if I like it.
So how you rate crime proof?
I put it
Okay.
5th.
I put it fifth as well. So it
Okay,
bring
very
the
nice.
total score of 10.
Okay.
So I need to say bye. I need to say bye bye to Chio-chan. Damn it.
Is Grand Blue the 5th show that we've covered?
Yep, it's the fifth show that we cover.
And Chio-chan has the lowest score.
The lowest score is Tonegawa.
Oh yes.
So,
Okay, then Chio-chan
1,
is still
2.
in the running. Everything else could be lower somehow.
Yep, could be.
All
It could happen.
What's next?
All right. The next one is the badminton sport anime Hanebado.
Yes. Okay. We kind of know how each. Did
Yeah.
we both preview this for the blog?
Yeah, that's right, and it actually very funny to me that that you brought it up to me about these shows. It was under my radar, and when the first episode started, I actually like it more than you.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I was into it was because the animation was supposed to be great, which it was.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely was. It was probably had the second best animated premiere of the season.
All right. In terms of animation, you say?
Yeah, in terms of animation.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's referenced footage. They're not tracing it. It's not rotoscoped, but they are looking at actual badminton players and using that. They're basing their drawings off of it. But I don't even care that they're using that technique. It just looks great.
Yep, that is exactly right because I watch a lot of other shows, other sports shows, especially the tennis and all the things that use the technique, and they don't do it right. But Hanebado, they did it right. They did it like how you see it, like live. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great. I also think the OP for this show, the opening theme, is quite good. I think
Yep.
on the visual side, I think it's pretty creative.
Hmm. And I have a Kyoto animation vibe for the shows for these shows.
Really?
So, so I think that's one of the reasons why I like it. I like it better than you.
Kyo, you have a Kyo Annie vibe coming from this. This show's a little too grim, don't you think, to be a Kyo Annie show?
Mm,
Like there's a lot of characters crying about their lack of
well,
success or the fact that their old
Ki-
flame is not around anymore.
alright, Kyoto animation could be green, glued to Violet Evergarden.
I don't really feel like there's a lot of shared DNA between Hanebado and Violet Evergarden.
Alright. No, I'm thinking of other show when I'm talking about this.
Okay.
So Cell UFO. That's what I'm referring to.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, I wasn't thinking about euphonium, but yeah, I do. Okay, I see the overlap.
Yep. Especially in the second episode. Sorry again, but in the second episode, I see it more. That have the Kyoto animation vibe. By that, I mean like the again the animation of the characters uh the movement. It tell a lot about on the gesture on those glance that tell more about the characters.
So is the character animation during the non-sport scenes, like the quieter scenes, is that better in episode 2? Because I did not think it was that good in episode 1.
Yes.
You'd say it's better?
It's better in episode 2.
Okay.
I that the main girl Nagisha, she could be a bit of a miss, a hit or miss, because sometimes she can be very overbearing.
So she's the one with the spiky hair who criticizes
Yep,
everybody, and she's
yep,
just mad
yep,
because she wasn't able to like beat her rival.
yep.
Okay.
She's the one.
I did not write their names down. So I know there's Nagisa, and then there's the other girl who's like a badminton prodigy but doesn't want to join the
I don't know.
club.
Yep.
Now, why is it? I was a little confused as to why she didn't want to join the club. I think it's like I saw at the start of the episode, there was like a scene where she looked at a picture in her locker, and it was her
Hmm.
and like maybe her senpai or something, and she
Yep.
was she was crying.
That was before that though. That from what I remember, that was on the match between them when
It was a
I
flashback.
think the flashback when she see like the other girl Nagisha struggle to try to win a point or something, and then she just said like it's not the kind of badminton that I like to play. It's not what I want to play like that. So she just quit. So
But
so that's I think the reason why.
I thought the reason that she quit was because she couldn't be with this girl that she loved anymore. The girl in the photo,
Or
who's no longer with her. Did you
um
did you
I'm
get
not
that at all?
I didn't get that at all. But we could see how they progress because we don't know anything for sure for
Because
now.
a lot of the buzz about this show, I mean, most of it centers on the way it looks and it moves, of
Yep.
course. But some of the other buzz about the show is that like there's lesbian undertones.
Yuri.
Yeah.
We will have like a lot of Yuri undertones coming later.
Okay.
All right. I for now I don't see that the case.
I mean, I really feel like when she was looking at that photo and she was crying, and I don't know. I mean, this was something we previewed for the blog. It was one of the first premieres, and we previewed it a while
Yep.
ago. So it's been a while since I've seen this episode.
That was 2 weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch that. But I get the sense that her like being bored with the game of badminton or not playing it the way she wanted to. I don't think that was all of the reason for her quitting the sport. I feel like there was some personal drama there regarding like another girl.
All right, so let's talk about other characters. The coach, the guy coach. His name is
he's
Tachibana Kentaro. Yep.
I hate
How?
him.
Yep. That's what I want to hear.
I'm glad I could provide that for you.
He's not a good addition. He's a good addition. I know his role to the story, but the way the show introduced him isn't that good.
I was just reminded of the scene from Uma Musume, that horse idol show from last season, where the guy like feels up the horse girl's leg. Didn't something similar happen in this show? He felt like her hand or something, the calluses on her hand.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I'm just tired of that. I mean, it's fine, it's Japan, it's whatever, but it's boring.
Yep, and the way that the prodigy girl Ayano, she remind me a bit of the character in Ping Pong, the animations.
Smile, you mean?
Yes, Smile. Yep. Kind of like passive characters who are actually pretty good and who actually don't want to show off their talent
because they don't want to get sucked too deep into the sport.
Yep.
Because then they run the risk of failure and they're trying to protect themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can see the similarity between them. But being said that, I like the other guys' characters from Ping Pong. Then this girl Nagisha.
Yeah, I don't think that this show is going to be able to touch Ping Pong. I mean, I think Ping Pong is not just one of the best series of this decade. It might be one of the best TV anime ever.
All right. Wow, you really fan of that show.
Yeah, I like Yuasa.
All right. Wow.
So my thing is beeping.
All right. That fast. That's quick.
I also want to say real fast that this show's soundtrack is booty. It's just it's awful. It's extremely generic.
All right. What a way to finish.
Honestly, I had to get that in there because I had that really sick line in the blog post about how it's every Joe Hisaishi like score put in a blender. Yeah. Now I've said it.
All right. My closing thought is that I like on this character development so far. I really love the animations, and I love the characters' little like movement actions that speak a lot to their characters. So yes, I like the show, and I think I'm gonna blog the show for the blog.
Okay.
And I'd rank it 6 out of 10.
I also ranked it 6th.
Alright, so the second time we agree on the ranking, which brings the total point of 12.
Right, which is tied with Chio-chan. We'll see if that comes into play.
That's right. Let's come to the next shows, which is Cell as Work, Hataraku Saibou.
Yes. I was not a fan of this show.
Really?
Yeah, no.
All right, tell me why. Why?
Because it feels like a kid's show.
What's wrong with that?
Okay, well, yeah, that's a fair question. It doesn't just feel like a kid's show in the fact that it's educational. I don't mind that part about it. What makes it feel like a kid's show to me is that within the first 2 minutes, they're attacked by a bad guy. You know, that bacterium, the purple guy who looks like Meruem from Hunter x Hunter.
Yep. Right.
With all the tentacles and stuff. So he's established quickly as an antagonist, and then he runs away or he's defeated or something, and then 5 minutes later he comes back, and he fights with the white blood cell again, and then he continues to pop back up, and they keep chasing him or they keep stumbling across him, and then characters are called in to fight him. Those black shirted the killer T cells. Everything just revolves around this one antagonist. He seems to be like the antagonist of the week, almost like this is Precure, and there's like a villain of the week, like a witch of the week that they have to defeat or something like that.
Yep. It does remind me of the Western children's show where we always have like the enemy of the week that like you said. But saying that, I don't feel anything wrong with this.
I mean,
I
I didn't. In addition to it being a monster of the week, enemy of the week thing, I also didn't like the enemy. I thought he was boring,
all
and
right.
and he didn't pose any significant threat. He didn't
Uh-huh.
bring out a side of either character that I wouldn't have been able to see if the show had been written differently.
All right.
I just wasn't a fan of the structure of the episode.
All right. I will tell you what I liked. Note.
Sure.
Um, I like the settings. I like all these the acts of the setting. You know, like how they figure out all the body or of the pack of their bodies, how it work, how it's look. It's actually really inspiring for me.
I can agree.
Um,
I like the idea, the concept.
yep. I like that on those they are on like red blood cell or white blood cell. There is like still some like distinctive personality between them. We don't see that yet, but at least for the two main characters, we see like they are different from others of their kind. So I like that as well. I like that's this is like the bonus point for me. I like the plateaus. How do you say that?
The
They are the
platelets.
platelets. All
Yes,
right, the platelets.
they were my favorite.
Yeah, they are my favorite. That the whole things regarding them are the best. I
Yeah,
think like one of my favorite scenes out of the whole things I watch. This first impressions.
yeah, they're very cute.
Yeah, they're just amazingly cute.
Yes.
That's like the best thing ever. So yeah, I also like yeah. So like I can see the chemistry between the two main characters as well. So basically, I like the whole premise. I do feel agree with you that it's more like the Western children's shows in terms of structure, but I don't mind that either. So yes, I actually like the whole things
Nice.
basically.
Yeah, I talking about the platelets a little more.
Yep.
The They were so distinctive. They had a lot of personality, energy. They weren't just a
Yep.
different size and a different age. But like
Mhm.
the way that they moved was so appropriate for their character. Like they had a lot of energy, but they didn't move too quickly. So that actually
Mhm.
fits the role of platelets in the body.
Oh wow.
But I felt like the red blood cell and the white blood cell did not have nearly as much going for them. Like the red blood cell's personality was just like a newcomer. Her whole entire shtick in the episode was I'm new. Where am I supposed to go? I'm new. We didn't like. I understand that a red blood cell is kind of moves, it moves blood throughout the body. It's like a delivery system. It moves nutrients. And that's what she did with that package. But
Mm-hmm.
that didn't bleed into her personality at all. It only affected her actions. So I didn't get the sense that she was like part of a human body, part of a system, part of like functioning as a cell. And the white blood cell probably even worse. The only
Yeah.
thing that signaled that he was a cell was like a little circle pops up out of his head when there's a germ nearby.
All right, because I really like his deadpans like deliveries.
Yeah,
All of
he is deadpan. So why wasn't there like a wackier, crazier character to bounce off of him to
well,
to make
I
use of
like
that?
the all right. I like the manga myself, so I just like this pair. And to boost that up, the girl who is voiced by one of my favorite voice actress, Hanazawa. So yeah, that's another plus.
Right. I think it's Hana Kawazawa, isn't it?
Yep. Yep. That's her.
Or maybe I have that wrong. I don't know. Yeah, I know who you're
Kana
talking about.
Kana Hanazawa.
she has a very lovely voice.
Yep.
But I don't think there's anything lovely about that character. Like, she's just like a new hire at a company. That was her personality, basically, if you could call that one. I totally disagree about her.
All right, and she lovable at that. I don't mind.
Maybe her design. I don't know,
Yeah.
but her as a person or like an entity.
Yep. All right.
Eh.
All right. So
so many CG crowd members too. I could not let this go without saying that. This might be
All
this
right.
this like the number of CG crowd background people rivaled like historical epics with entire armies of CG guys on horses. It was like that many. It was just an eyesore.
All right. I think I would say that you rated 9 out of 10. Would you?
I did, yes.
All right. I rated 7 out of 10.
Oh, I thought you were going to put this one really high and drive a wedge between us even further.
Well, I told you that the first 8
Yes.
are all my favorite.
Right.
So that's a total score of 16, which put it like near last.
Yes, but not as bad as Kaiji.
Not as bad as Kaichi.
Yeah,
That's right.
Kaiji spinoff.
All right. The next shows that we're gonna talk about is the original shows, Planet Wheat.
Yes. Okay. I'm interested to see where you rank this one.
All right.
So
I will tell you that.
We can do that at the end.
We can do that at the end, right?
You want to talk about this one first?
You can talk about that first.
Okay. The main thing that I like about this show is that it's strange.
All right. Yes.
It is weird.
Yes.
There's like a giant floating robot, maybe, or alien or something, with the word peas on its chest, with a bunch of hands for feet and mouths for ears. And when people get close, it like floats in the sky menacingly in different locations all around the world. And when people get close to it, be it in planes or in with their weird superhero mechs that they have, they are like transported to another time in their life, and they're allowed to kind of relive a memory and even alter it. And it's so difficult to parse what is actually like what is going on. I don't know what's happening, but but I feel like the show actually, just because of how classically written it is, like it feels like a mid 2000s Bones series, where everything is kind of held together because of the aliveness of the characters. They have a lot of energy to them, and they're constantly moving forward. Like they're constantly explaining something new about themselves or learning something new. So there is always an element of intrigue that is funneled through a small cast of characters.
Yep.
So I think in that department, even though it's like confusing and kind of like a little bit of a mess, I think it's a success.
All right. You want to hear my thought?
Yeah, of course.
All right. I agree with you that it's strange, and it's the strangeness of it is the only thing that still intriguing me, because I think the show starts with a very generic and formulaic fashions. Formulaic fashions. We have like characters with amnesia again.
Yep.
We all the characters are really, like your archetype characters from other shows, so they are nothing to write home about. The main character especially have no personality, that like he just get dragged on the whole thing against his will, but he do it anyway.
Wait a minute. You were just
talking
about
the last. Yes. Yep. Sorry. Yep.
You were just talking about how the white blood cell was like a great character. Now you're telling me this guy has no personality?
Well, the white blood cell she does because that's her mission. Or he does because that his mission to do it. It's the way he run things. It's not for this guy. He does he just a plank.
Yes,
He doesn't know
he
what to do.
is.
And I'm not particular fun with the like on the flashback in the middle of the fight, and I think like the heroes with on the superhero mask is kind of off-putting for
It's
me.
kind of what
I,
off-putting. Okay.
yeah, I don't know why, because why they have to wear on the hero mask, and they are two look like an archetype characters that I don't think I would care about. So basically, the whole thing boiled down to on the characters I don't care about for now.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Um, yeah,
there's definitely you could call this show generic. Like the guys, the main character has amnesia. He loves meat, and the it seems to me that the only reason right now, the only reason we're really given that he's fighting and cooperating with the cat and the maid who live in his house is because
mm-hmm.
they're like promising to feed him. And when he
Yep.
has that conversation with the class rep on the rooftop when they're eating lunch,
Mm-hmm.
he's obsessed with the fact that she has, what does she have? Some kind of
I don't
Hamburg
remember.
steak, but it's made out of
Oh,
tofu, so he's really sad about that. So yes, his character does seem to be pretty empty.
mm-hmm.
But the I don't know. I feel like there's a high degree of self-awareness here. I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
show really understands that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and that these are a lot of disparate plot elements that haven't come together yet. Because like think about, for example, when we first see the main character with that mask on,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
with that
Mm-hmm.
with the neon bars across it, and
Yep.
he's thinking to himself, wait a minute, why am I cooperating with these guys?
Yep.
They're dangerous. I should get far away from them. But then his memory starts to come back to him when he gets that like the power source from the other guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I feel as though the characters are kind of left blank intentionally, because as we learn more about what the hell the plot of this series is, they're going to get
Mm-hmm.
filled in. Because
Yep.
obviously he's not just some schmo with amnesia, and he's not like your below average gamer nerd main
Mm-hmm.
character. He
Mm-hmm.
is somehow integral to the story. He's probably some sort of chosen one.
Yep.
So that'll get filled in as we go along.
Yep.
Um,
I I
Go
I
ahead.
do agree with you that I feel that this show now just like build up on the generic so that they can break it down and build it again. So like some sort of reconstructions.
Yep.
But saying that I have no interest whatsoever into finding out the main characters, like role into all that, because we all know that he gonna be the chosen one.
Right.
He gonna be like the key out of that or the thing, and like that by itself in itself is already generic and cliche, because like how many show that we see the main character is the chosen one.
I don't
So
know if it's fair to call this show generic or cliche when it had the peas thing
yep.
floating in midair.
It,
Like it's that weirdness that gives me some confidence that the characters, when they are filled in, that they will have some real life to them.
yeah, so I hope that whatever he become, he becomes like some sort of weirdness as well, because otherwise it can't hold my interest in that.
Yeah. I definitely get what you're saying. This it's not the most, well, maybe confident is not the right word, but it's not the most put together premiere.
Mm-hmm. Yep, premiere. Yep, that's what we're talking about, because it might add up in the future, but as far as that first episodes went, it didn't do its job for me.
Right.
Like to put to paste everything all together.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I definitely see your point of view on this one.
all right. One more thing I want to say is this CGA fight. I think it's a bit distracting. It's dynamic, but it's a bit distracting. How you think about on the fight?
Yeah, I was just really critical a second ago of CGI crowds.
Yeah.
I'm not down with CG for people, but for vehicles and mechs, I'm a little more tolerant. So in this show, I think they look decent from moment to moment, but the actual fight between Soya, the main character, and what was the one superhero guy's name?
The guy.
Hideo. Hideo.
All right, Hideo.
The fight between them was I don't know. It just the action wasn't properly conveyed for me. I couldn't make out what was going on half the time. Maybe because that like part of it could have been because the fight was set at night.
Yep.
But yeah, the CGI is we're definitely not looking at Land of the Lustrous level computer graphics.
All right. So how would you rate the show, Whooper?
I put it 4th.
I put it 9 out of 10.
Okay, so that's 13th. So Chio-chan and Hanebado are going to edge this one out.
Yep. All right. So we come to the 9 shows. That's pretty quick, actually. We come to the 9 shows of our previews. And that show is Shoujo, Kageki, Revue, Starlight.
Anime of the season.
All right. Well, all right. I tell you what I think about the show first.
Sure.
For the first half, for the first 10 minutes, it's run at like a general.
Oh no! Nope.
Idol shows.
You could not be more wrong. No way.
All right. Let me just finish my thought. And I just think that it it do a pretty decent job at that. So it's like a bit like above average idol shows, which like they establish all the main characters, 8 of them, maybe more, and then transfer student, and then start on like the new like the whole
Starlight.
activity.
It's a musical.
No. I just before that, so they do like on the day-to-day activities,
Like having
And I
lunch
think
and stuff.
having lunch, doing the on the practice, and I was like, oh, okay, it was alright. It had to be like the second half had to be blow me away in order to like to put it back to make me interested to see it again. And boy, the second part was blow me away. It basically blew me away.
It's amazing.
All right.
I love it.
So it's just to tell you that it's really remind me of Utena on the scenes in the theater, on the what they say, the Starlight
Starlight Revue.
Yeah, so that remind me very much of Utena for good reasons.
Yeah, I haven't seen Utena, but I have seen Penguin Drum and Yurikuma, and it reminded me strongly of those two. I also got a bit of a Madoka Magica vibe from the dialogue that the giraffe, like just the fact that I'm saying that sentence, the dialogue that the giraffe delivered.
Yep.
It's awesome. When he was talking about the fact that all the girls were vying to be like the top star. So essentially the lead in the musical, there's a parallel between this conflict that's going on in this basement underneath the school or whatever it is, wherever it is, because it's who knows whether it's actually happening or whether it's just symbolic.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a conflict between the girls, and they're also vying for the top spot in the musical Starlight itself. So it's kind of like a play within a play, a show within a show.
Yep.
Which I really love.
Yeah, and I just love every moment of that. So
yeah, I turned the subs off just so I could watch the seamless, beautiful, fluid, gorgeous action. Oh.
Well, yeah, that was really nice. So it's all the amazing scenes start from listeners. If you want to watch the show, pay attention to when the main girl go to the lift, and things gets weirder and more awesome from there.
Yeah, I really loved when she gets in the elevator or the lift.
Yep.
And then and then like the whole wall moves down, it replaces itself with an identical copy.
Yep.
I love that so much.
You can see that you see like there was the billboard there was like the bullet boat,
Yeah.
and there was like a paper which is like cut it in half when that thing moved, and then when it come back to itself, it fit again.
Yeah.
So it's just amazingly strange.
Yeah. Very creative.
Talking about strange, we have that with Planet Witch. It's are the strange, like they have many strange elements, but this one actually, like pretty much better for me.
I would
it
say
just,
that the weird or the strange elements in this show are more surreal and symbolic and dreamlike. Whereas
Yep,
in
that's right.
Planet With, they're like slapping you in the face with it.
Yep, that's right. So
But those are two different. I mean, I definitely appreciated what this show did more, but those are like almost two different things.
all right. So I have to say it again, but it have a spirit of Utena. So if you see Utena, you will see like it borrow the spirit, the atmosphere, everything, like down to the T. But it still has something to make it like stand on its own. So yes, I love all the things about this.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect it to kind of resemble Utena because it's directed by Tomohiro Furukawa. He's like Ikuhara's apprentice, apparently.
Yep, that's right.
He
That's
worked with him
right.
closely on Yurikuma at the very least. Did you do Penguin Drum too?
Yeah, he did Penguin Drum. So he started at like assistant at the first few episodes of Penguin Drum, and then towards the end, he actually co-directing some of the episodes himself.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it after seeing this.
Yep, I believe it as well.
Okay,
The
but I
ca- the
go ahead.
characters on the other hands are generic at the moment, which I think they will be more in the spotlight when they fight, when those things the Starlight Revue start playing,
Yeah.
which I'm really down to it. So yes, this
Yeah.
is a recommendation for me.
All right, now I got to talk to you about why you're wrong about the first half being generic.
All right.
This looks
Tell me.
nothing. This looks nothing like other idol shows. It's got
All
the
right.
same gigantic cast of girls, all of whom
Mhm.
walk in a room and get introduced. But it doesn't have the same like panning shots from the bottom of their body all the way up to the top of their head. It is not trying. It is not trying to sell you merchandise or
Yep.
or anything like that. It's not. It's not a tie-in, I mean, this show actually is a tie-in to a stage play and also a manga. So there is a bit of a multimedia franchise thing going on with this series. But in terms of the way that the anime is directed and how it comes through in its execution, it is so much more than that. Like consider the music that plays while the girls are all walking into the dance classroom with the
Yep.
the wood floor and the bar and all that, like the ballet bar.
Yep.
Think about the music that plays during that show. It's like a very soft, intriguing, almost mysterious piano melody. Like the show is teasing us. It's like why are all these girls gathering together in this room? What's actually going on at this school? Whereas if the same thing were to happen in Cinderella Girls, like Idolmaster or Love Live, or some even cheaper, like seasonal and then forgotten idol show, you would not have that music. You would have some peppy music with like a little bit of flute in there and then some keyboard playing like all major chords, and it would be essentially enticing you to pick a favorite girl and then buy her merchandise. That is not going on in this show. It's all leading up to what happens at the end. Everything that happens is in service of that. Like when the two girls who start the episode, Karen and Mahiru, do you remember that shot where they're both waiting to cross the street?
Yep.
And it's kind of a wide shot. It's pulled back. The camera is across the street, and we're looking at those two girls. Mahiru is like bouncing up and down on her feet and kind of running in place, and Karen is like slouched over. You get such a good sense of who they actually are as people, as individuals, from that shot. Love Live does not care about creating those sorts of moments.
All right.
They're just not the same. It sounds different. It looks different. Not the same.
All right. I agree with you on that. You show me on that. Uh,
If I accomplish nothing else in this episode, please, if you're listening, this is not just some dumb idol shit. Watch this show.
um, One thing I want to add, uh, but it escaped my memory now.
What was it about? Like, was it
Uh,
part of the first half of the episode or the second half?
no, just right after all the things that you just explained.
Oh.
There's one thing I want to add to that, but oh yes, there is hints of the Yuri
Oh yeah, big
uh
time.
overtones, which I actually like it. I actually
Me
I
too.
actually looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. Are you kidding? I'm down.
So yes, this show this show is like totally me.
Oh, okay. One more thing that I have to add that's like just killer in the first half of the episode. Do you remember how it opens with a younger version of Karen watching the audition and
Yep,
like dreaming about going to this school and being part of this musical?
yep.
And then the show kind of shifts. It like I don't remember how exactly it moves from scene to scene, but eventually we get this shot of like 8 different girls lying down in like prone positions on the steps with this like velvet curtain winding its way down the stairs and connecting all of them. That is just like, what other idol show has created a single image as like striking and as beautiful and as representative of what's to come as that?
All right,
Like
all
the
right.
fact that the curtain is red, it represents, to me, it represents blood. So conflict that's going to arise
All right,
between them. They're all linked together. They're like bound by destiny to fight each other. That's where I get the Madoka vibes from, or Madoka.
all right. You know what? You're gonna love Utena when you watch it.
Oh, I bet I will, man. If it's anything like this, oh boy,
It's
can't wait.
yeah, it's totally like this. Like on all the symbolics, on these things, on the whiness. Yes.
I'm ready.
So, all right. So it actually like Hanebado. When I'm the one who recommend that, but you seem to be more into it more than me, and I already love it so much.
This
So you
honestly,
put
I think this might unseat After the Rain is my favorite anime of the season. It's very early to say that, but
yeah.
it
Well,
might do it.
it's just the first 20 minutes, man.
I know, but I'm hyped.
Just hold your horses, man. All right. So you put that at first, I believe.
Yes.
I put that at fourth.
Okay, then it's definitely getting blogged.
So
Or
that's 5
discussed.
in total. All right. To the very last shows that we have, that would be Tenrou, Sirius, the Jaeger.
Okay. So by
All right.
process of elimination, I guess we can figure out
Yep.
what the ranking is. I'm trying
So
to figure yours out. Did you put it third?
I put it third. You put it at seventh.
That's right.
All right. Or
All right.
Alright.
So since you like this one more than I do, why don't you lead off?
well, I like the production of the shows. I like the music. The soundtrack is particularly very good to me. The concepts, which is a bit like up and down on that. It's about vampire and vampire hunters, and all the supernatural stuff, which in anime medium is it's been like explored a lot.
Oh yeah.
But still there has something more going on these shows. So I like the characters is I actually like the dynamic between the shows. They have style. I like it.
Wait, sorry, one more time. You were talking about the characters and then you like the dynamic between what?
No. So I like the style of the shows.
Okay.
I think it have personality. The
Ooh.
the dynamic that I say is the animations on the fight.
Oh yeah.
It's so basically it's just a solid production for me.
Okay.
How about
Yeah.
you?
I think solid is a good word to describe it, but I do have my fair share of issues with it.
All
Obviously,
right.
since I put it seventh.
Hmm.
One of my big issues is that I don't like the characters, and I
All
especially
right.
don't like their designs.
Mm-hmm. All right.
This is set in 1930, um, and it's also about vampire hunters and vampires, and eventually I think werewolves are going to enter the mix
Yep.
based on the plot synopsis.
I think
S-
the main guy is the werewolf.
Yeah, I agree. With his eyes
Yep.
glowing like that, and
Uh-huh.
actually the blonde-haired kid who's his partner, he calls him a
Uh,
dog in this
oh.
episode, which
All
I
right.
think is supposed to be a jab at his werewolf heritage.
Yep.
Um, but the characters look too much like they came from a Final Fantasy or like a Tales RPG, like a JRPG. And this show is set almost 100 years ago, and it's about it like a dark, hate-filled supernatural conflict between two parties that have been probably battling for centuries. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
as though the characters are ripped from modern anime style and put
Yep.
in a setting where they do not belong at all. And I
I
also I
don't.
also don't think they have a lot of personality to them, like
Mhm.
at all.
All right. I agree with you on the latter because they seem to be generic for now. I actually like the character design more than what I looked in on the PV. I don't know why. It just looked more attractive to me. The designs. Yep.
But they look nonsensical. Like why would
Not.
anyone wear that in the 1930s?
Mm,
And especially vampire hunters, why would they wear clothes like that? It,
well.
there's no
It
reason.
it's cool. It's cool.
Now, what would be cool is if they were all wearing like trench coats. If we could get some Ghost in the Shell stuff going on.
Well, I do like the character design. So yes.
Okay. Are you a fan of PA Works character designs in general?
Not really.
Huh. Okay, because
Hmm.
this show screams PA Works to me.
Yep. Um. Yep. But yep. So far, all I can really say that it's a solid work. Uh, it a shame that the plot no one will plot this, but yeah, well,
Yeah.
we have a lot of shows going on. I
Well, maybe
actually
maybe Lenlo will. He expressed some interest in it.
yeah he don't do Netflix though. Netflix shows. I don't think he gonna do it.
Yeah.
So in general, as the season as far as the season goes, many people say, I think you as well say it's a lackluster seasons.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel that.
While I agree with that because like the top shows, which is Banana Fish and Shoujo Kageki, there's a lot of like underdogs shows, a lot of the under the radars that I actually find it interesting to see how it all goes.
Are we done
And
talking
it's
about Sirius the Jaeger now? Did we
oh
finish
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I actually finished that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
was
you had
actually
any.
planning to like dump on it a whole bunch more, but we don't have to do that. That's fine.
You know what? Because it actually qualified for the top four, so we have a lot more to say about that shows
Yeah.
next few weeks for the next 3 months.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't you tell us what the four shows are?
All right, so the for the four shows are in the orders of
Points.
best, yeah, of most vote is Banana Fish, Shoujo Kage with 3 points total. Oh, I don't need to say the total point. Banana Fish, Shoujo Kageki, Grand Blue, and Tenrou Sirius the Jaegers
Hmm.
for shows. And to continue with my thought early on, I actually like it because on the underdog shows are on across on the genre. We have comedy, we have like supernatural series, we have sports shows, we have science fiction. So like there's everything for everyone. So yes, I actually like this season more than I thought I would so
Gotcha.
far.
Gotcha. Okay, so Shoujo Kageki Revue Starlight. Definitely happy about that. Banana Fish.
Yep.
Solid. Grand Blue. I wonder how we're gonna like. What are we gonna say about that? Oh, it was funny.
A lot of mobus.
Yeah.
This guy naked again.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder as well.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out. And then we have what was the other one?
Tenrou,
Oh,
Sirius,
that's right.
Jaeger.
Yeah.
That
I
one we actually have a lot to talk about.
I'm gonna have to hold my tongue whenever we talk about that show.
Because I think first we might be disagree about this show, and second, it might become bad. We actually have a lot thing for us to say.
We also have to depend on fan subbers for that one
Oh yes, that's right.
because it's a Netflix
Uh,
series.
so
So
if
we'll see about that.
if this week any indication, it might come on the right time before the podcast, but we will see on that.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Cool.
Yep. So that's the 4 shows. So next week we're gonna start with these 4 shows. For the older show that already played the second episode, we will cover like episode 2 and 3. Otherwise, episode 2 for other shows.
Right.
And the next batch of 5 show of the secret of Blue Water.
Yes. Excited to return to that.
I actually a bit surprised that Chio-chan didn't make a cut.
Oh, I
But I put that on second.
How
and
could it?
didn't make a cut.
I tanked it on purpose. I hated it. It's
Alright.
just watch it. Watch the first episode again and look at the backgrounds. Just forget what's happening. Just look at the backgrounds. They're slapped together.
Alright. I watched it twice, and I still like it. I still want to watch it again. So you're not convincing me on that.
Just look at the backgrounds. Ignore turn off the subs, turn off the sound. Just look at the backgrounds. You're gonna throw up in your mouth. it's just ugly.
Alright. Yep.
But I'm
so that's
glad you like it.
Yep. So that's a wrap.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next week.
All right. Bye everybody.
Alright. Bye.